All bear with me. I'm so sorry. My computer cut me off at 8 minutes and I'm not recording 8 minutes worth again. So I'm just going to have to attach a second video and hope that it connects. And if not, I'm sorry that you had to watch two separate videos. But I'm going to roll into the ethical frameworks and different ethical practices and whatnot. So, with these ethical frameworks in mind, it's clear that these practices would violate the moral rights theory. By performing the stop and frisk, you're violating the principles of the right to security of the person, the right to liberty, and the right to privacy. The right to security of the person states that you're not to be subjugated to downgrading treatment or arbitrary arrest, and being stopped and frisked in public is degrading in many ways. I mean, number one, there's people all around and they're watching you, and you're being frisked, and if I'm a female being frisked by a male officer, it could be very uncomfortable. If I'm a transgender person being frisked by, someone of the opposite sex, I could be very uncomfortable. And while I can request a certain officer, there's no telling on how long. And now we're just prolonging the inevitable of me potentially being innocent and just having to go through this whole ordeal. But the overwhelming majority of those people who were frisked were innocent. So despite the tactics' intentions being for those who appear to be committing a crime, they're still stopping innocent people who appear to be guilty. It also violates the right to liberty because it hinders on a person's ability to act legitimately. If I'm stopped in Central Park, for example, and I was told that I was looking suspicious and I want to I have to be frisked, and I get patted down, I'm not gonna want to interact with the police. I'm gonna be unintentional with my interactions in the future. I might become sketchier looking, and because I'm nervous. The search and seizure also would not be warranted because it hinders all interactions that this person may have in the future. I might be traumatically scarred because of this interaction, and I know that that's a bit extreme, but you never know the experiences that someone might have had in the past, and then this could have been the toppling point. And finally, it's a violation of their right to privacy. Being searched inhibits the person's ability to control what information about them is known and what others will know and think about them. Just because you're in a public space and you're being searched doesn't mean that there aren't going to be people that you don't know around you. And now you're no longer in control of the information shared about you, because we live in a social media age and so many people record things. So, if that gets on Facebook or some news media source, and now I no longer have the ability to control my own privacy. Next, I will go with utilitarianism. I feel like they would most likely not defend these practices. Those who prescribe to utilitarianism would see this as the happiness of the police and community is greater than those being stopped and frisked. I just realized I said they would not. I mean they will. The police are concerned with getting criminals off the street, which in turn will make the community safe and communities happy. While there may be, advocates and the people who are being searched who are unhappy, I think the good in their mind would outweigh what they are doing and the unhappiness that is related to it. And in the end, I personally believe that Kant would see these practices as the police using these people as a means to an end. The officers using these tools as a way to find criminals hinders the people's ability to accomplish their own legitimate ends. And with moral law in mind, it may be the duty of the officers to stop and search the citizens who they deem to be potentially committing a crime, but it's also hindering in a manner in which they're doing it. So it's no longer considered a duty or obligation. Hopefully this wasn't too boring, and that I would love to hear what you have to think. So, thanks.